Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. You're watching our coverage of NECC Valorant Spring 2023. Tonight, Boise State is going to be going up against Oregon. It's going to be the Broncos versus the Ducks here tonight to see who is ultimately going to prove victorious in a best-of-3 match. I am your host, Jake Palmer, joined by Noah here and calling all of the action for you here tonight. And so, Noah, this is a pretty big-name university we're going up against. Oregon, definitely one of those great regional rivalries that we have. Can you give us maybe like a sampler, a taste of what we have to look forward to in terms of how good these two teams are?
Yeah, just a little caveat, though. This is Oregon Yellow because there's actually Oregon Green as well. Oregon Yellow is sort of like the B team for Oregon here in Week 8 of NECC in the Pacific region. And so Oregon Yellow really struggling to pick up those wins where the Broncos are kind of, in the average, in the middle. So, I mean, statistically, if you had to pick a team to come out on top, it would be the Broncos in hopefully a decisive manner.
You would certainly hope so, and if Boise State's kind of in the middling region, that means that any win that you can pick up, to close out the regular season might mean the ultimate difference between making the cut for playoffs or just going home. So ultimately, we'll see how the Broncos have to do as we are in Week 8. We got a Week 9 match after this, and then the regular season will be over. But for the season right now, we can also talk about the lineup that we have that Boise State is going to be playing with. And we actually have 2 subs being brought in for Boise State, too. So not only is it kind of the secondary squad for Oregon, but Boise State is also bringing in a few non-normal players.
Yeah, so we have Maze and we have Tort coming in. I believe one of them is substituting for Daimyo. I don't particularly recall the other substitution. Skies, it would be getting subbed out, so that might be a detriment to the Broncos. Definitely, Maze and Tort are lesser seen players on the Broncos squad, and Skies is definitely one of those players that can be like a top fragger, is main duelist for the Broncos.
He's their Jet, and Jet, has always been a popular agent, kind of the face of Valorant, so when you have your Jet main out for the day, it means you got some pretty big shoes to fill. So for these 2 players being subbed in and for the rest of the Broncos playing in the game, whether you're a sub or you're a main, you can always do with Doc's keys to the game in Valorant. Doc's keys to the game are going to be focus angles and flank, know your win condition, count cards and call abilities, and click heads. It's all brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. So ready to drop into stage number 1. I believe we are starting out on Ascent, just like a whole bunch of other matches that we've had.
Yeah, I feel like it's just deja vu all the time, seeing Ascent, map 1. It's like a very standard map, I feel like basically it's been played so much that it's kind of a solved game here. So we'll see how the Broncos and the Ducks actually face off. I'm not really familiar with Oregon's Oregon Yellow, so how the Broncos actually adapt and react to that, because I don't think they have that much experience against them either. So,
well, it looks like for Oregon we're going to have Castle, Frequent, Mike the Cactus, Rango, and Munkus. Also got to shout them out for all having very easy to say names. I very much appreciate the Ducks for having that. As casters, we very much appreciate it. Right now, Aldum is going to be dashing in, wasting no time trying to go toward B.
Aldum might be able to find somebody in the corner here. Gets shortied, and you hate to see it. And now this is going to make this site take a little difficult. 2 low health members here for the Broncos. And now they're going to decide to try and transition over to A, but they might be getting caught here.
Last player standing.
And that's going to do it for the first round. Oregon is going to claim it and go into the second round with the option to purchase some slightly better guns, some SMGs. This was a tough position for Boise State. They were trying to open up. I mean, this Omen was just holding things down for Oregon. And I see most of the purchase for them. It looks like we got one of the Spectres. In fact, it looks like they're going pretty conservative with their purchases here. Still sticking on the Ghost, one Bulldog, and a few Spectres.
Yeah, have that Sheriff out there as well. We'll see if that can do anything. Oh, Tord immediately taken out by Munkus on that Sheriff, so putting in work.
And a swap out for a slightly fancier classic.
Mike the Cactus might find Rariana. Rariana actually wins the duel with the pistol. We'll be able to pick up that Bulldog, but only has 30 HP left. We have a jet on jet action, maybe?
For round 2, that's a pretty hefty pickup. We're going to have a duel near Gardens. Munkus is going to win that one, but J-Bag is still able to trade. Boise State, with 2 left, is going to find themselves trapped in mid, with Oregon pretty much ready to engage with them whichever route they try to take. Maze does pick up Rango. Should open things up. There's 2 left.
Does Rariana suss out? Oh, reloads. Castle takes out Rariana. Takes out Maze. That's already a 2-round lead here for Oregon for the Ducks.
Once again, Boise State just really finding themselves kind of pinched in from all sides with Oregon. And we kind of also see why Oregon was a bit gingerly on their purchases. Looks like their jet is already eyeing up, but isn't going to buy it quite now for the bonus round. But I'm for sure predicting that we're going to see that come out on round 4.
Yep, again, conservative buys here for the Ducks. All them with the Vandal. He's going to try and find a peek, but takes some damage. Not that much, though.
Bunch of fire through the smoke. Doesn't look like it's getting that much chip damage onto the Broncos. Dash in, beautiful
with
blind,
the blind, but doesn't find anything.
Oh, that's a bit rough. Thornton, J-Bag both pick up one. Boise State still has a chance, but given the fact that Boise State should have the gun advantage by having all rifles, you don't necessarily want to be trading evenly with Oregon for this round. Tort and Maze, both of the subs in, finding themselves in mid. Tort very low on health.
Lurking. Munkus wants to find a headshot. Will this jet find it? It's actually playing a bit safe.
Still
Here's
has
the
the
drone.
It still has the tailwind, so can disengage. Immediately does that. Only one more elimination, and this jet will have another tailwind to spend.
Rariana might. Yep.
30 seconds left.
Munkus was not suspecting that, and now this might be a plant opportunity. It will be a plant opportunity. Broncos will get a spike plant at the very least, and now Rango coming around with the Spectre, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a sandwich play here. Rango and Frequent, we'll have to see.
Revealing area.
Quickly takes out the dart.
One enemy
Keeping an
remaining.
eye over on Heaven and Frequent. A 1-2 punch puts Oregon in the lead, and this is a very bad start for the Broncos. This was the round they had to bring it back on. So winning your bonus round is it starts a huge credit avalanche for the leading team.
Definitely a good start here for the Ducks. Going to be feeling pretty good coming into round 4. Should be pretty even in terms of guns, but
I was calling it out, actually, here. The op is
op?
now out for their jet.
that's scary. That is scary because Munkus on the Sheriff has been finding these headshots. Now, might have the opportunity to find some body shots. Doesn't even need to find those headshots.
And is setting up on B, surprisingly enough, for the op. Not where I would have originally expected. Oldham starts things off promisingly by taking out Frequent, but the long range that Rango has on this Vandal is going to be very hard for the Broncos to mitigate. They're going to have to make sure they're efficient on their smokes to just keep those long-range guns out of play for now.
Plan coming through, though.
Plant goes down. Boise State tries to close the distance, but there it is. Rango, all he needs is one headshot. J-Bag is able to take him up. The one Vandal that the Broncos do have, looks like he picked one up. Cactus, Mike.
Cactus Mike. Mike the Cactus, whatever you call it.
You know, there actually is a pinball machine called
Cactus Mike.
Cactus Mike, I think.
Okay, suppressed here. Spotted out, and J-Bag will take out that Cactus Mike. As you said, that's a thrifty for the Broncos, and now You're going to be feeling pretty good coming
I'm
into this
sorry,
round.
Cactus Jacks.
Cactus
Excuse me.
Jacks.
Okay, yeah, that's the name of the pinball machine.
I see.
Not Cactus. It could be Cactus Mike. It's a name that really goes well with a cactus, I gotta say.
That's funny.
So we actually have found out that Mike the Cactus is the captain in IGL for Oregon. And him and the rest of the Ducks here are all very close on their ultimate. You saw the spread. A lot of them are only 1 or 2 points away. And Oregon is already bringing out an ultimate. The Blade Storm, and Monk is immediately making himself known with it. Takes out Aldum and then rotates back. Command ult popped in response for Boise State, but Castle's just going to spray right through it.
J-Bag probably not going to be able to get rezzed here on this KJ. Actually, Tort is eyeballing it, is full HP. We'll have to see. But so much utility used. Yep, J-Bag will fall, and now...
How is Castle still getting a pick? He was at literally 1 health. Just 1 health. Any sort of wayward spray would take him out.
Well, there was a wayward spray, but then there was a wayward spray back, and...
Although that wasn't so much wayward spray. That was a headshot landed for the Broncos. But still, I mean, he was hanging in there for the long haul. And I think we get to see here, because we'll have the view of Castle. No, it went away at the last one. Just wanted to point out that I legitimately saw only 1 health available for him. And that's impressive when you're able to stick around and keep getting frags.
Yeah, the secret to winning Valorant or any game is just to not get hit and get headshots.
Of course, much easier said than done.
Says you. I never die in my Valorant games. And now Rariana.
Out of my way.
We have Jet Knights coming through, probably from the other side. Rariana does Mike the Cactus spot this out.
Oh, he spots him. And just waits for the headshot. He's going to be able to pick up. Nice Vandal off of that. Omen teleport used by Oregon.
Broncos need to pick up the spike, and they will do that. Now maybe eyeing their B site. Sova, Rango is trying to find it. Spots out Tort.
You should run.
Now
Boise State's going to bring out the Killjoy. Going to try to clear out the post. The problem is that, yeah, they need to smoke off that Sova.
Placing swarm grenade.
Because he's still in a safe location holding down this angle.
Storm grenade used though.
Boise State is taking their sweet time moving through. Freakwind is going to be able to get Tort.
Aldum has the knives though. We'll have to see if these are going to be able to be used effectively.
Also, who's got the spike? Do we still see Alden holding on to the spike? Doesn't have time to plant it.
Aldum holding on to the knives for now, but is trying to eye a pick.
This spike just might be a bait here. I am shocked that he had enough time.
Player standing.
Suppressed, wall banged, and now J-Bag with 0 HP here. Gonna get taken out. This will be a defuse. I mean, at least the Broncos got the plant, but 5-1 start here for the Ducks.
And Oregon's whole strategy was just working off the sound cues here. Just by hearing the spike being planted, they weren't even getting in the sideline to allow Boise State to maybe use the knives. They just heard the spike being planted, approximated where they were, did a couple of jump peeks to probably say, okay, he's right here, pings them, and then the wallbang goes through.
Yep, good play so far. Obviously, this game is far from a foregone conclusion. Could still go the distance, or Broncos could, you know, win 12 in a row. We'll have to see, but full buys across the board.
Blind's going to be thrown out by Castle. Rariana doesn't get blinded and takes out Frequent on a very aggressive push.
It looks like Aldum is pushing forward. Is suppressed, but still finds the elimination onto Castle. That's the KJ, not the KJ.
Placing swarm grenade.
KO taken
Swarm
out.
grenade out.
Dash in to close the door. They've gotten rid of Rango. There's just 2 left for the Ducks.
Alarm bot out.
Boise State, I think just their main goal here is not whether they plant, but just on how cleanly they can defend after they plant. Oregon's main goal isn't necessarily going to be to win
Spike
this round,
planted.
but just try to get exit frags here and there to put a dent in Boise's eco.
Yep, 2v5, kind of a uphill battle here. Port is holding this angle. He's trying to suss something out, but for now, you just notice that this Jet is holding on to this op. Just going to be looking for any stragglers, but this just
Player
leaves
standing.
like the Cactus to get taken out by his parallel universe counterpart.
This Jet is not going to give up this op. It's just going to move back to save. Boise State moves out of the blast radius. And they might want to actually be careful on peeking this corner. If Munkus actually swings around, one of the Broncos could very easily fall. I warned them. I warned them. They didn't listen to me.
Well, they have their AirPods in. They can't hear you. And Munkus will find one, but other than that, pretty clean round by the Broncos. Kind of standard stuff here from both sides. Nothing too crazy. We'll have to see if the tempo gets taken up a little bit in this next round.
Monk is now going to set himself up in mid. Luckily for the Broncos, it seems like they're not going to have to contend with that for now. They're just going to immediately smoke off these doors and go for B again. Oldham finds himself in a swarm grenade, and a whole bunch of damage is taken onto him. Almost 50 damage.
Takes out Rango, though.
Good start, and the Broncos are going to get that spike down very soon.
Quick plant, and now the Broncos are in a firm position on this B site. Mike the Cactus does have a lockdown. Would be able to use that, but seems to be saving it for now. Mariana has no utility left. Yep. Lockdown used.
Hunter's Fury in response to take it out. And taking out that Jet is huge. The question is, will Boise State be able to find that op? They do. I say thank you very much.
Oldham's going to be very happy to have that one. Doesn't even have to purchase it. How kind.
Very nice coupon clipping deal there, if you will.
Clipping. The 5-finger discount.
The best kind of discount. I am not, for the record, I am not endorsing any kind of law-breaking behavior.
Hope so.
So Oldham is going to keep the op. Sometimes we see teams that are attacking choose to just throw the op away. But Oldham's going to keep it, take a peek through mid.
Finds two.
J-Bag picks up the ult.
Oh, and Oldham takes out Munkus with that op, so already making good use of it.
Yeah, the one who used to hold it now falls victim to it. How poetic.
It's like the Elder Wand or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Mike the Cactus hanging around. Generator. Oldham dashes in. Puts up a bunch of smokes for himself. Goes out a shot. Has the right idea of where Mike is held up. Is now going to keep the sideline on Heaven. So the eventual rotations around coming through from Oregon are going to be found out.
This Broncos squad just chases down Frequent. Now Castle trying to find somebody down below him. Won't be successful for now. Rango is spotted out. It's going to make things very difficult for the Ducks to perform a retake, especially Rango gets taken out alongside Castle, and now the Broncos have almost evened it up here.
Starting out with a 5-1 deficit, the Broncos have slowly but surely clawed their way back, completely flipped around the economy for the Ducks. And the Ducks are going to be having to compromise here in some of their purchases. We're seeing a few Guardians being brought out, a few half shields, which is only going to make these Vandals more of a problem for the Ducks to deal with.
Me right after payday versus me a day before payday, you know?
Yeah.
So far, the Ducks aren't going to be feeling the best in this round, especially when Oldham takes out Castle. We have some lurking.
I cannot use that.
Suppression coming through, and now Oldham comes in, immediately gets taken out, but Rango gets taken out in a trade. J-Bag is down, but can get res. And now it is just frequent. Get the door closed on him, and now J-Bag with the res. It's going to be a 1v4.
Nice. Swings around just looking for those headshots. He can one-shot with the Guardian. Pulls off a double. The molly goes out, and he's going to try to wallbang through it. Fortunately, he does have a Guardian, so it doesn't lend itself too much to wallbangs. Tort comes in from the window, able to stop the bleeding for the Broncos, but very good performance, all things considered, by the Ducks.
5-5, but Oregon Yellow really made him pay for it. Round score tied up. We will have halftime very soon. Broncos are going to want to finish this round 7-5 for sure. And they have the guns and they have the shields to be able to do it.
Well, speaking of guns, I'm most going to be, whenever I see a judge being brought out, yeah, my ears perk up. But he's hanging quite far back in his spawn, looking at an angle which I don't think you can hold that long of an angle with a judge.
It's like shooting the broadside of a barn. Oh, Tort with a fantastic headshot on Marcus.
All right, Boise State is going to have to be careful if they swing through Fish Market because that's where this Omen has set up. Doesn't look like they're going to have to deal with him in the near future, however. They're going to throw out the Owl Drone onto mid, slowly make the rotation onto A, probably to a dual push up through A short and Gardens. He gets smoked off. This Omen brings out its teleport, trying to... Oh, he's setting up again. The trickery.
Oh, no.
You have been had.
Alden gets taken out. That's the off-down. But Ririana and Mace finding good picks alongside Dort. It's just a team effort here. 3v1 in round 11. Now, Castle's going to try and have to siege his own castle against the Broncos, I guess. That was a bad
Looking
analogy.
for a gun that he can pick up. He finds a Vandal. Definitely will take it. He's going to take the engagement. Ririana, he pulls out one of his blind grenades and gets caught out in the animation.
Last round before the switch.
So Boise State, despite Oregon having a very long lead, 1-5, might have the opportunity to actually finish this half ahead.
Finish it ahead or at least tie it up, you know? Especially when you're down 5-1, that'll feel all right. We have a lockdown gonna be able to be used
Get out of my way.
on the side of the Broncos, so we'll have to see how they use this. Might be able to use it for a B push again unless the Ducks have something to say about it, but Maze takes out Castle.
A swing around the corner. There's still one left. Mike is next on the menu. Maze almost picks up the ultimate orb, but he's already got his Hunter's
He's like,
Fury.
wait a second.
There's only one on the Broncos who could possibly pick that up, and that's J-Bag, but he's holding the spike. There's one hanging back in Boathouse. Boise State uses their teleport. The Omen teleports back into back house. Found out. Oh my goodness. You hate to see it. You hate to see that too. I mean, Munkus with a triple.
Grounded.
Oldham just quickly brings out the knives and says, I'm going to put an end to that nonsense.
That was a mess there. We'll see if the Broncos can get the plant. No Hunter's Fury, no Jet Knives to deal with.
Oh, gets caught out.
Yeah.
This could be an extra long side game. Okay, he does bring out the Hunter's Fury, so he can stall them out a little bit. This also is going to let Oregon know where their Sova is. And yep, he takes out Maze with a quick shot, and Oregon is going to leave the first half tied at 6-all.
Yeah, as we enter halftime here, Broncos
Switching sides.
and the Ducks tied 6-6.
I'm still a little bit questioning about why you would stay back there in Boathouse on the teleport, because usually the teleport's just kind of used as a pure scouting ability. You see, yeah, Tart tries to come in here, but it's just a quick flick over, and Munkus already has the judge, so...
Yeah, a bit of a questionable decision to continue with it, but...
Especially since he brought out the knives right after. I mean, that helped Munkus get on a certain bit of a roll with his ultimate. Sometimes whole rounds can just be decided on small decisions like that. The butterfly effect can very much be alive in Valorant. Boise State now holding down defense, and they're going to start things off well with a sheriff shot onto Castle.
Tor eyeballing maybe Monkus getting caught out here. Might have the angle and does.
Check your
Beautiful headshot.
angles.
Beautiful headshot. Oh, the Broncos know that better than anyone else. Don't worry.
Mike is going to be found out by Oldham. Line swings around. Rango's able to pick up a double.
Line's coming.
One
Shots.
enemy remaining.
Oh no.
Spike down mid.
Well, one shock dart elimination is just enough for the Broncos to squeak out with the victory.
It looked like it was going to be a pretty quick round there, but then the Sova came back and
I'm
found
pretty
some.
shocked that Oregon just walked right into that. It's not normally at this level of play that we see complete angles like that. The player just completely forgets to check them.
So we have a sheriff. Maybe Rango will live up to his name and pull out the big iron and find some headshots, but now it's Oldham on the Marshall. Finds one, doesn't realize that there were 3 others there. It's taken out, and now
Well, the
Tort.
silver lining is Boise State now knows where they all are. Tort just sees them all walking by. And Mariana is going to have the advantage, and Guns can just, try to spray. They take a lot of damage off of 2 of Oregon's members. They don't have a way to heal that, so I actually think Boise State is in a fairly good position.
No Sage on this map, unfortunately.
No Sage, no Sky.
And now the Ducks are just kind of playing around in mid, looking for something. They do have that Marshall that they picked up.
Tort is holding this angle very tight. Wait for Castle to come through, and Castle has the better reflex trigger finger. Oregon has a new lease on life.
30
They
seconds
do
left.
have a numerical advantage, but in terms of HP, they do not. J-Bag just has to tap him. Does he check this corner?
Player
And he
standing.
doesn't.
Oh
And this
my
is Plant coming
goodness,
through.
That's brutal.
15 seconds left.
Boise State had the gun advantage, had the person advantage, and knew where they all were because one of their teammates saw them all running by, and still Oregon is just playing around them.
Maze, though, full HP, full shield, has some utility he can use. It's not the worst retake in the world, but it's definitely going to be difficult.
These shock darts are not inconsequential. Any sort of spray with this Ares is going to take them out, but they're both holding down the angle from Hell, and Boise State loses round 2.
Now it's tied up again. That was a nice initial pick, but then just not suspecting that there would be more members there.
We often do see this strategy brought up by teams who are all stuck on pistols. It's just they all kind of group up together, even if they're not going to be able to match the other team in guns.
The ants approach. They can't get us all.
They can't get us all. It's a 5-on-1. Now
No.
Boise State is going to have to see how well they can do with a bunch of classics.
Standing ahead.
Dart thrown out early. 2 darts actually forming a perfect Venn diagram, I must say.
Oldham losing that fight. Kind of slow play here by the Ducks, but maybe that is to their benefit. Rotating the spike over to B site. Turret. Maze just with his knife out, just walking back and forth, looking for something.
Bit of information is going to be picked up off the Owl drone. Rariana is hanging back in this corner, swinging around with the right click.
Oh my god!
Effortlessly picks up a triple. Are you kidding me?
That is...
I don't know if someone tampered with the classics on both sides for this second half, but teams are making it happen.
It's a 2 versus 2. Obviously, guns not on the side of the Broncos, but they might be able to pick up some from the corpses.
I like this route that they're taking because they're going to be able to pick up guns. They find themselves, they're going to be able to get 2 ARs, so this sets up the Broncos for a much better retake. They're going to throw out the flash grenade knife as well. That's going to pick up both of Oregon. They can't use their abilities. Moves in, but I don't know if checks the angle behind. Oh, Ford has it, and he wins it. Beautiful play by the Broncos.
Great retake, great use of pathing to be able to get those weapons, and really that 3K was just what the Broncos needed from Mariana.
This was also great team communication as well because, I mean, Rariana just had such an incredible run here on Fish Market, and that didn't have just the immediate effect of stopping Oregon right in their tracks, but it just left a cache of weapons for the remaining Broncos to pick up and be able to retake with. Speaking of weapons, Boise State has now brought up the op. A is going to be a very difficult, very dangerous angle to peek. Might even actually have a jet battle brewing on it.
Jet battle, my favorite kind of battle. J-Bag will get suppressed, but suppressed 2 right back. Aldum is waiting for the peek. Jet on Jet. But it looks like Maze just picks up 2 with the Odin.
Broncos, when they're on ascent, have expensive tastes. They usually buy those 2 most expensive guns. It's working out. It also means a huge credit swing over to Oregon should they win this. Rariana throws out the alarm bot. We'll be waiting just after that. Now, Oregon, they need to learn from their lesson. Yeah, they do check the angle this time. Glad they have that in their mind. And a huge flick by Castle over to Rariana to pick up the headshot. No, Oldham, I don't think he dares.
I don't even think you attempt this.
He just has to go into save mentality.
Says, it's a very nice op skin. I'm going to keep it. It cost me $3,000.
And now we get treated to the most exciting type of Valorant play for the next half a minute to a minute.
Yeah, Oldham. Having a little bit of fun here. Looks like the Ducks are looking for this Jet, though, but
That's a long route to take, though.
Whether they take this angle, that is the question. KO might. Castle?
Oh, but of course, it's the standard Valorant thing. It's the standard problem. If you're holding an angle and you think you should stop holding it, you might want to hold it for 1 or 2 more seconds than your instincts suggest.
Does Munkus peek this?
Oh, he's in a dangerous just trying to survive.
No!
Oh, at the very end, the op is dropped.
Not picked up though, but dropped. Oh,
that's still, I mean, it's not ideal in any Raze's situation. Oh, this was so heartbreaking.
Oh, that.
For more than a minute, he was holding that sideline in his own spawn and peeks away at the last moment.
There, you know, there's just like a voice inside your head that says, all right, no way they're coming, and then, you know, it turns out they're coming.
You got the angel and the demon on your shoulders, and unfortunately didn't listen to the right one in that situation.
Munkus taken out, but Frequent lines up 3.
Yep, when Boise State's on an eco round, you can pull that off even with a Vandal.
What do you mean, even with a Vandal?
Especially with a Vandal, but I mean the Phantom. If you're just wanting to spray, I mean the Phantom, you know, with that range might be a little bit more, but I'm cutting the baloney awfully thin here with my comparisons. It's still an AR versus handguns.
Yeah, wait, Maze did not see Rango, but Rango sees Maze. Now Oregon taking the lead once again, 9-8.
Now Boise State, off their save rounds, is going to have just enough to purchase Vandals. Shout out to Munkus, being the one player who still has taste and is going with the Phantoms instead.
Oh, you're a Phantom enjoyer?
Oh, I am a, you know, me and when Artie's up here casting Val, we will wax poetic about the Phantom till the very end of days.
I'm sorry, but your opinion's wrong.
Well, I'm sorry I'm not a tryhard who just wants to pick up my TikTok clips with my, pop-offs and one-shots. I actually...
Spraying through, but gets sprayed through
See,
even better.
Munkus gets the pick on the Phantom. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Confirmation bias. Okay, back to the actual fight here. Alden with the knives. Is gliding through the air. Won't find anything quite yet. Can't wallbang with knives. Gets some good damage on Rango, but it's not enough. J-Bag gets taken out behind him. Now it's just Tort on this retake, and it's going to be very difficult here for this little woman.
Tort gets taken down to just 8 health. At this point, just needs to save his rifle.
It's winnable.
Well, if by winnable you mean savable, that's certainly the case.
It is savable. Does Castle peek it? Oh. Checking the corners, though.
They're not going to be as gun-ho this trying to find the remaining Bronco. And, man, this is an awkward position, and I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of the Broncos trying to force it here with these two Vandals. It would seem in this situation, you got to set up at least one full buy round with Oregon now that they're at double digits, so... Unless they're able to, unless these Vandals do an amazing job in this next round, this could be an ongoing eco problem for the Broncos in these final few rounds.
All of them just immediately coming through, gets suppressed. Doesn't find anything. Nobody's going through mid. But the Ducks are sneaking their way towards a site. Torch should be able to sniff this out at some point.
Swing around the corner, and Rariana is unable to land the headshot.
Enemy kill.
But Alden sure does.
Client coming through. Onto A site. Door closed. Alden, good job. J-Bag gets caught out by Munkus on the rotate. Castle as well. It just trades back and forth, and now comes all up to Mace, who gets spotted out. Gets taken out. Now it's 11-8, and now the Broncos are starting to sweat a little bit.
This is where we're going to see if that credit management by the Broncos was indeed on point, or if they're going to continue to run into problems. A lot of ARs are purchased by the Broncos, so they've decided that this is the round that they have to work with. This is the do or die.
Theirs is not to reason why, theirs is but to do and die. Do or die. Messed up that poem. But we'll see if it can be more poetic coming out of the Broncos. Would like to take it to double digits, as well as Aldum and Frequent are fighting. But Frequent wins that trade. Aldum isn't even able to use any abilities.
See, this isn't something that would have happened if at least one of them had a Phantom. I'm just saying.
All right, buddy.
Finish.
Oh! Good shot by Ririon onto Frequent, though.
Now the score is brought back. Even Frequent has to kind of give a tip of his hat to that shot. We're trying to hold down Garden. J-Bag on the other side is going to be able to catch out Rango. Or gets very close to the door. Trying to wait for the sound cue. There are 3 left by Oregon. They all walk past it. They don't check the angle. That could be huge for the Broncos. We're going to try to bring down that door.
Just very well. Door goes down. Plant still hasn't come out. Finally will get taken out, but now this allows the Broncos to go for a retake. And you better believe that they are going before this Killjoy, this lockdown comes through. Turret taken out. Suppressed and vulnerable, but Maze finds it. We'll be able to find this defuse. Gets
Still
tamed.
has enough time to defuse, but he's just going to slowly.
Frequent says, OMG, no time run.
That's just
Move Eye of Kit.
dragging yourself across the finish line. But it is a round win.
And the round's the win. You want to win them on round when the other team has 11, not 12, because then there's a chance you don't go into overtime.
Gives you just that, it's very little of a cushion, but it's still one round the Broncos can lose. Unfortunately, the Broncos, in terms of eco, aren't going to have much of a cushion. They have to keep full buying, and one of them even is going to be forced onto a Bulldog. So it's great if they win rounds, but if they're only winning them by 1 or 2 people, then they don't really have too many options.
We'll have to see. Aldum finds a nice quick flick. It's looking good for the Broncos so far. Ducks are going to head through mid, maybe try to go for a B play. Frequent is pushing through. But ultimately, the Broncos are just holding their angles.
Oldham! Oh, I was thinking he might get the collateral if they both lined up. He still lands a great headshot.
One enemy remaining.
Now it's just one. Looks like Broncos are at least going to get double digits here in this round unless they catastrophically fumble this round. But I have confidence that they won't. Yep. Taken out by Tort, and that's a pretty dang clean round. So the Broncos bet it all on black, and they, you know, they won the roulette spin this time.
Oldham, both of his eliminations had that crosshair placement locked down. Now we find Oregon in a bit of a awkward save position. Both these teams do have the Blade Storm, so it might be a thing of you give that gun over to Frequent and then use the Blade Storm yourself.
Watch this.
Blind is going to go out through a short. Oldham already picking up Rango.
Jet knives. Successful. J-Bag has this little dragon, is going to want to spray him down with the dragon fire.
Oh, Frequent caught in the corner on the molly.
In terms of HP, the Broncos are going to be feeling very good about their situation right now.
Cover going out.
Frequent throws out a smoke.
All of them is just jump peeking over here.
Just,
Guys, I think I see him.
If you want to give yourself a concussion by just jumping into the ceiling over and over again, be my guest.
I mean, hey, why do you think they play Jet?
Yeah. The only thing that would prove it more is if they were a Phantom player. Am I right?
30 seconds left.
All right, we're sounding like a broken record over here. Aldum is still just holding this site. Okay, utility used, and they know that it is a site now. We already see Aririana immediately coming over. But Maze finds one, Wart finds another, and that is a flawless here for the Broncos. 11-11. Really swinging this momentum over into potentially a 12-round win, taking the lead.
And Oregon is going to be using their first timeout, giving us all a minute to breathe and just get used to the situation at hand. Oregon's had an extremely good opening against the Broncos, opening the series starting out 5-1. But ultimately, the Broncos managing to pull out some clutch rounds, and Thrifty's going back and forth for both teams. We've seen our fair share of classic pop-offs.
Classic pop-offs, yeah, for sure. Classic moments. And just finding those headshots. I mean, spraying them down when you use the spray shot. And it's looking like this might go into your favorite time.
Overtime?
Overtime.
Oh, it's just what I wanted for Christmas. I didn't want anything else. Frequent had a bit of eco problems last time. Is going to have just enough to purchase an AR this round, but Oregon is on half shields.
Suppressing.
Suppression
One
comes through.
suppressed.
Finds one.
Oh, Frequent is able to catch J-Bag, but looks like he only managed to get a body shot. Frequent took more damage off of that engage.
In terms of the push, the Ducks are pretty split. Does Aldum suspect that anything is going to happen mid? Spray's coming through. Aldum loses the fight, and now the Broncos are down a member. They still don't know where the spike is.
Oregon just biding their time in Fish Market.
Out of charges.
They should hear these footsteps.
Terminate.
They should, but they're having a bit of a problem, and that problem's name is Mike. Just headshots two of the Broncos
Spike
pretty
planted.
effortlessly. The spike is going to go down by the Ducks. Boise State is going to have to retake this 2v5. 2v5 flashbang, and yeah, that went about as how I expected it to go.
Flawless one way, flawless another way.
Match point.
Now match point here. The Ducks could take this first round on Ascent. Broncos are going to look to tie it up. We see Aldum with the shorty. Ariana. Yep, with the Vandal. Lots of Vandals coming through. Broncos. This is the moment you prove yourself.
Because I wanted to start things out by going into overtime, and we're still just the first game of a best of three. This is exactly what I signed up for.
Too suppressed.
Looks like both these teams are playing it calm, composed. What you would expect on a match point.
Frequent's going to be just kind of throwing out a bit of fire, but it seems more like a bait than anything as Oregon rotates through their own spawn. Oldham is the only one holding down this B sideline, so could get away with it. If he hears those footsteps, he can charge up his tailwind.
It looks like they're walking. Aldum finds it though. And now the Broncos know something's up. These Ducks are up to something. Looks like Oregon is a bit reluctant to head mid because correctly they're guessing that Aldum might be peeking that.
They're going to bring out a teleport just to get a view inside Boise State's spawn. Another op shot rings through.
30 seconds left.
The rotation goes back over to Gardens, where Rariana and Ford are just waiting.
Spike down A.
And a huge bullet storm back and forth, but Boise State still leads by one.
Frequent planting with about 10 seconds left. We see Maze and Aldum kind of walking their way towards here, using their Okay, that was anticlimactic. And it's your favorite time.
Yep. Here we go.
Is that important?
Overtime.
Left.
Overtime.
So now once we get into overtime, this means that all the credit speculation that we've been doing so far this game is all going to be for naught. Everyone's going to have enough to buy full Vandals and Shields every single round. The only exception is if one person decides to go for the op, they won't be able to purchase Shields. But for now, it's just going back to all Vandals. Start things off for overtime. Oregon's going to be placed back on defense.
Kind of a little bit of a mental reset here, both sides realizing that all it takes is 2 victories in a row. That's all you need.
Oldham's trying to get a few peeks through mid, smoke off onto catwalk.
A little bit of a jump peek. Not a whole lot of action here, not a whole lot to talk about, just kind of basking in the silence of people spraying their weapons and thinking that it'll ever fool the opponents.
Once again, we get a prime example of jiggle peeking here.
Kind of nauseating to watch, honestly.
It's exactly the type of exciting gameplay that I signed up for. The location dart is going to get a ping off of Oldham. A whole bunch of his health gets taken away. He's now down below half.
Still. Oh, wait. I just realized one of them. We missed that one person on Broncos fell. I don't remember when that was.
30 seconds left.
Smoke is going to go right onto the choke point as soon as Boise State pushes through it. Mike picks up a double.
One enemy remaining.
Just one left for Oregon. They have a 3-on-1, and they're going to take it.
Oh, the use of the knives. That's
Switching
on the
sides.
corpse. Come on, man.
Match point.
I mean, at this point, the eco resets every single round, so
True.
gotta do what you can to get into their head, mess with their mind.
So, the Ducks just need one more victory. Broncos could tie it up, and we could go into double overtime.
Oh, Oldham has decided to bring out the op.
Besides, I don't need armor.
That does make it, he has no armor, so that does make it that Castle can now just headshot him with the Phantom, just like he would a Vandal.
They're coming through. Mike and Ririana might be facing off. Battle of the Killjoys. Armbot triggered. Look at Castle's positioning. This is
He is
interesting.
just pushing all the way up through mid-market by himself with the spike, no less. If he gets taken down, that spike is going to be dropped, and Boise State can just stare at it for the rest of the round. That is the case.
Spike down.
Now, this side take is looking good for the Ducks.
Spike planted.
Miracle advantage tied up here, and now
Last
the...
player standing.
Oh no, now it's just Oldham, and with this lockdown, things are going to be so difficult. Oldham is trying to win this fight before the lockdown is used.
Remaining.
Finds it,
He
doesn't get
Oh
detained.
my goodness, he manages to escape out of it.
Oh, turret.
Oh, that
14
turret.
HP! Oh, this is so difficult.
Tries to spray.
Mike just has to...
on
the
the
swarm!
swarm grenade, no less. Well, okay. Oregon is going to claim the first round, 14-12. Well, the top 5 plays of the game are brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. That's going to do it for the first round. Boise State is now going to have to win the next 2 to pull off the victory in this best of 3. We'll head to Icebox next for the second stage. You're not going to go away. We're going to take it. We're actually going to go to Haven, excuse me.
Yes, Haven. And then I think Lotus is, if we go to a game 3, is our third pick. So.
Alrighty, so we have 2 3-point stages to get to. And that is going to change the calculus of the round pretty steadily. I have to wonder if the Broncos have just been favoring 3-point stages lately, because we've been seeing a lot of Haven and Lotus picks. But we'll just have to see how it all turns out. We'll take a quick break and then be back with the second round right after this.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. You're watching our coverage of NECC Collegiate Valorant. Boise State is facing up against Oregon right now, University of Oregon. And the Ducks have just picked up the first win on Ascent as we're ready to head to Haven and Lotus to see if the Broncos can turn it around. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, joined by Noah Guadara to call all of the action for you here tonight. And how do you think things are going to change on Haven? Because I have the sneaking suspicion, just the slightest sneaking suspicion, that Boise State really likes these three-point stages.
3-point stages. Yeah, it makes things on attack easier. I mean, it's just a numerical thing, you know, splitting 2 sites versus splitting 3 sites. And so I think the Broncos are going to probably be a lot more aggressive on the attack and, you know, hopefully maybe clean it up a bit on the defense and, you know, actually come out and tie up this series, head into Lotus Game 3. Have to see if we get to see more of Lotus, that beautiful, wonderful map. Also a 3-point.
Yep.
I guess technically.
Well, I suppose if we still have the possibility of Lotus ahead of us, we're not going to want to waste too much time actually getting into this second game and seeing what both teams bring out. So we're heading back over to Haven. Things have always tended to start out with 2 OG stages and then one of the newer ones being brought into that mix. We've seen a lot of Fracture this spring and a good bit of Lotus too. So now we jump into the action, Boise State and Oregon. Boise State, oh, I had my hopes up that Boise State was actually bringing out the Gecko, but no, it's Oregon, that is.
Yep. So the Ducks starting out on the attack. Maze on this breach here.
Oh, there goes the wingman into plant. And he's going to be taken down. So Tord is just going to not be swayed by the cuteness factor whatsoever and be merciless.
His spray's coming through, but it's a pistol round, guys. Everyone on the defuse, and that was a very quick round, honestly.
Seems like Boise State is not wanting to waste too much time, even though they are on defense.
So we see, yeah, Tort picked up the 3, and then Rariana just holds the defuse with the smoke coming through. Pushing out, just buying time. That's all you need to do. Win that round.
Boise State is going to use that victory to purchase a few Bulldogs, 1 Marshall, I think the Spectre too. Throw out some initial blinding. It's not going to pick up too much of Rango. Dizzy is thought of for a little bit. Not thrown out quite yet.
And again, this is another B push. Rango is planting. Will get taken out by Rariana. Rariana still healthy as a horse. Maze spraying through the smoke, finds Rango. J-Bag picks up Frequent. And Aldum is like trying to find something, but the teammates are like, no, don't worry, I got you guys. I got you, Aldum. You don't need to get anything of the Marshall.
Well, okay, Oregon, this is interesting. They've done a really kind of unorthodox strategy of just charge toward B and hope for the best.
The Dust 2 method, I've heard it called.
Which, you know, I very much approve of personally. I'm sure Boise State's approving of it very much because it's worked out so far for the Broncos.
Definitely plenty of rounds to change up your strategy, so we'll have to see if the Ducks do that.
Now Boise State is saying we're going to be the ones just charging up through courtyard, and, well, they bite the dust in response.
Rariana at the very least. Tor is holding this angle. The question is, does that corner get checked?
J-Bag is still able to pick up Frequent.
Tor is trying so hard here to just be sneaky.
A lot of reload audio is being heard. And they just walk right past. Oldham lands a headshot with the Marshall. I don't know if Tort realizes, but he has a perfect opportunity here to just catch Oregon State from surprise.
Fast lane by the Neon is not able to find success, and now Munkus is coming up behind. Question is it sus out? And it is. All done with the shorty. Now it's just Rango. Has no pets to work with, is getting charged down. Aldum finds it. Pretty dang clean around here for the Broncos, going up 3-0 on that bonus. Oh, come on.
Yeah, come on. Have you not seen the pace of the game?
Oh, my.
Have you not seen the pace of the game so far? We've been charging B and just been ending the rounds like that. We've got places to go.
I've got a
People
plane
meet,
I've got a
things
plane to
do.
catch. I don't, but might as well. Yeah, this. Oh man, Aldum had no HP here. Blind is used, but Munkus does not suspect the hidden shorty jet.
Now we move on into round 4. Broncos having a huge lead over Oregon. Now the thing that really kind of caught both of the teams off guard on Ascent was a bunch of thrifties being brought out. And it looks like that could also be the case here, as Frequent with the Headhunter lands a shot onto J-Bag. Dashed in by the Neon, but Rariana is just going to trade 1-for-1.
1-for-1 trade. Decent. The Ducks with a numerical advantage. Oh, I spoke too soon. Aldum picks up 2. Maze picks up 1. Now it's a 2v1. The Broncos should be able to put a stop to this plant, but Munkus with the Vandal does have time to work with.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness. That's got to feel bad.
Now there's some serenity.
It probably almost feels as bad as if your coworker accidentally locked a key in the locker, forcing another coworker to try to fruitlessly lockpick the locker for endless hours.
This sounds
of the
too
day.
specific to be some generic story.
No, I'm not bitter or anything, but I'm just
okay.
saying that Boise State must be feeling the same amount of pain right now.
Well, clearly Munkus follows Doc's keys to the game, brought to you by Drop-In Gaming. Aim, click those heads. So. Now Aldum.
Oh my
no!
goodness! Well, that's one way to deal with an offer.
Neon moment right there, and is getting healed up too by this guy. So, me feeling pretty good. That's the most obnoxious thing about Neon. You think you have an angle, and all of a sudden this lightning girl comes charging at you. Mach
Yep.
17.
So now it's going to have to land just a clean headshot against Mike.
Mike,
Oh.
you gotta be. Oh!
Okay, all that healing for naught. Good trade, 2-1 for Rariana.
I've got your
Yep.
trail.
Evens it up. Omen's being used here. Tort picks up Munkus.
Last player standing.
And now it's a 1v2. J-Bag has to find something.
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
finds
nice
the
wallbang.
wallbang. Now has to go for the standard retake.
Some Omen on Omen action. This is an omen of things to come. And unfortunately,
And-
Castle wins out on that one.
Only one of them gets to go home and knit for the day, and that's
Sure.
going to be Castle.
You ever seen the movie The Prestige?
Prestige?
The Prestige, the movie?
No, I can't say that I have. I am not a
Christian
movie.
Bale?
I am not a
Oh,
movie
okay.
person.
Never mind. I'm sure somebody out there would get what I was trying to imply there, but
I'm just relating. I'm just referencing the fact that Omen canonically likes to knit.
does he?
He does. There's a whole
want to
banner you can
play?
purchase of
Let's
him
play.
just sitting by the fire and knitting.
Let's see.
Blinded.
The more you know. Now you're looking up. I'm sure.
just so you can see that this is-
Okay, I see
this
he's
is
knitting.
the official art
Frequent
that Riot
with-
released.
With the ultimate here on this chamber is going to be looking for... Oh, more ultimates used here on this B push. The Swarm Grenade will cause it to fizzle out a little bit, but now Mike the Cactus... So many ultimates used to get this B side. One burn down for Mike the Cactus. Gets taken out by Rariana. Now Maze finds a headshot. 11 HP. Uses that Rolling Thunder. Is going to be able to get the retake quite soon. And that was a complete mess. I have no idea what happened, but the Broncos come out on top. What's so funny?
It's just the way he threw every single knife possible at him. I mean, he's trying to get, he's just, you know, oh, I'm bound to pick him up, you know, I'm going to use this updraft here. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to see it. Yeah, off of the Rolling Thunder, they're concussed. No.
Hold them. You can right click. No. I'm sure the knives are more accurate when you left click. It's just unfortunate that the prediction of where the chamber was going to be was a little bit off. Neon doing Neon things, being very fast. Broncos 4-2, so they're feeling pretty good on the defending side, especially on a map like Haven.
But as we already hinted, you know, just, you know, when you're the defending team, it's a little bit of a harder job on Haven, so the fact that the Broncos are in the lead, it's just about the pace that they can set for themselves.
Dort with the doggy. All
Just
spotted
gonna
out.
Go through, gets the 30 damage off of that, and that's just going to help him wallbang that crate right down.
Man's worst friend right there. This is going to be a silent A take. Actually, none of the Broncos are on A site. But Maze might be able to find a peek. We'll have to see. But Mike the Cactus on this Neon is just zooming around.
Spike planted.
All of them smoked out. Can't see a thing. Guess Oldham's
Lockdown.
living in Los Angeles over here. Can't see a thing. But this lockdown will buy some space for the Broncos. Sky's traded out.
Oh, both those Seekers are going to find two of the Ducks. Dizzy just falling out of the air. Oh, that poor animal.
One enemy remaining.
And
Last
just some
player
baiting
standing.
around the defuse. Castle still picks it up.
And again, it's just a moment where somebody from the Ducks picks up 2 kills in rapid succession at the very end of the round. Munkus being a bit ambitious here with the expenditure of ammo. Not sure if that's the correct choice. Polluting this beautiful Haven.
I mean, it was already kind of a mess. Haven's a bit dilapidated.
True. But the Broncos looking pretty poor over here.
Blinded.
But we do have a Sheriff from Tort, so we're looking for the headshots. Aldum as well. Just lots of pushing up. This is an interesting proposition the Broncos are suggesting. And for once, we're actually going to have a C take.
It's hard to believe it's taken this long to actually see C brought into play, but
Oh, the Ducks are just grouping up, getting their ducks in a row, I suppose. And fast lane coming through, and no utility left on this Neon. However, J-Bag just gets sprayed
Spike
through.
planted.
Maze gets one back to get a retake, gets a rifle for himself, but now the Ducks have just an angle to be able to defend this from so far away.
Hawk thrown out. Maze picks up one with the gun and the other with
Last
his
player
util.
standing.
Tries to stick it, but Oregon knows where he is. Sprays through the smoke. So Boise State has been having a pretty rough go at it for the last 5 rounds, only winning 1 out of the last 5. So Oldham is going to swap things up a little bit and green out the op.
Is bottom fragging on the team, but it's pretty dang close in terms of dispersal. At least going 1 for 1 on the KD. But all of them is going to be looking to increase that ratio. Have to see if it is successful.
Oldham just hanging on top of sight. Slowly but surely, this chamber might sneak up on him.
Has the burst, has the dash. Finds one, dashes away. Oh, doesn't find the second, but is able to escape. Just more ops being used. Tort picks up one. Isn't able to find it. Monkus gets the trade. And now just so much utility being used here. Seekers coming out. Once again, the Ducks are going to be planting on C site, but it is a 4v2 for the Broncos.
Oh, Rariana. And while this fish is out swimming,
One enemy remaining.
this Gecko leaves himself vulnerable to Rariana's flank.
Gecko's animals are fine, but Gecko himself was taken to a farm upstate. Maze, what the D. Come on,
We did
Maze.
ourselves.
Maze for the
Farm,
defuse.
and a farm upstate. I'm talking really upstate. We're talking like top of New England because it was a fish fry after all. So they just took that thrash, put it in the fryer, called it a day.
That's what you just gotta do. You gotta aim good. Gotta aim well. So Broncos with the lead here. It has been a pretty close match. We'll have to see if this gets widened any more before the round swap, or if it's just gonna be going tit for tat.
They go charging through lobby.
Oh, Neon, not so fast now. All of them gets taken out.
Oh. Boise State just trying to get away from this lightning fast Neon.
Oh, sprayed through the smoke. That doesn't feel good for Ariana.
I have a good retake option with this Rolling Thunder.
Spike planted.
Some monsters making disgusting sound. I don't know what that's all
Yeah,
about.
I mean...
Wait. Oh, J-Bag TP's to his demise.
The sidekicks are cute, but the sound effects are just objectionable.
Now the site retake has just gotten much harder with no Omen. Are the Broncos even attempting it?
Yeah, I think they're going to try to save the Rolling Thunder for the next round.
Okay, so it's going to get tied up here. Nobody from the Ducks is falling. We'll have to see if there's any post-explosion trades. Nothing so far, but you might have one. Yep, Maze finds it.
They're able to take out one Bronco, but overall Boise State is able to trade a few more than they gave up. Or take out a few more than they gave up.
Oldham almost has the knives. Maze has ultimate. Tor has ultimate. So
Time out.
again, use it or lose it, Broncos. You got 2 rounds left to work with, and so you better believe this round or the next is those ultimates are going to be coming out. We have a battle of the duelists.
You know, the Knights just haven't been working out too well for Oldham this half.
Variable removed.
Well, Rariana takes out the pest at the very least. But now everyone's on A site and the Ducks are just going C site.
All that. And they're going to move through their own spawn back over to C.
My
where it's
diagnosis?
relatively more peaceful.
Teleport's ready.
My diagnosis for the Ducks, it's a C plant, but hey, what do I know? I'm a quack.
Let's go into overtime to make my mental health even better now that
You're gonna be damaged internally this time?
I'm already I'm not damaged. I'm destroyed.
But
internally.
Rariana finds a nice
I
little...
am a pile of rubble. My soul is a continual pile of rubble.
Speaking of rubble, Rolling Thunder used and defuse, and the Ducks can't do anything about that. And they're just picking up more, just trying to eliminate these guns, and they will do a
Last round in the half.
full wipe. That's what the Broncos needed to do. So easy for Ariana.
Nice pick from Window, and now the Broncos, if they can end this in the lead, 7-5, I would predict that the Broncos are going to run away with it once they're on attack.
So you
Any
think,
sort of lead they can get.
the Ducks are gonna waddle
You
to the
want to
finish
play,
line and
let's
make it
play.
6-6?
You
Or
know,
get the halfway point, I suppose.
I actually do think that is the perfect explanation.
Oh, Mike! Nice spray. It's just being a speed demon. I believe has the ult available. Yeah, is going to use it. The question is, will it be successful? We'll find Aldum once again. The Neon. Oh, that is not the trade you want to see. Frequent just headshots Rariana. Tor is getting sprayed down. Is caught between a rock and a hard place. J-Bag will pick up the Neon.
How did Tord even survive?
Tor is somehow still alive.
Last player standing.
And with 2 HP,
Enemy remaining.
Check your angles.
6-6. It's going the distance, it looks like.
Yeah, just like it did the first game.
So, Frenzy from Aldum. Might be looking to go a bit aggressive here on this first round.
He's the only one, really. Everyone else is just happy with the classic, spending more of their credits on abilities.
We'll have to see. It's
Yeah,
halftime.
interesting. Boise State has usually been a team that's purchased Ghosts to start things off for their. So this is a bit of a shakeup.
Yeah, trying to save as much money as they can. Aldum immediately with the Frenzy. Looks like it's being a good choice. And now this is looking towards a C take. The question is, do the Broncos suss anything out with the Ducks retake? No, it's just going to look like it's going to be a standard retake.
Dizzy thrown out to attempt the retake. Castle gets Oldham. The Mosh Pit also whittling down J-Bag's
Last
health.
player standing.
And okay, Oregon is going to pick up the first round in the second half.
Come on. Not you too, Oregon. Okay.
I'm out of here.
They do pick it up eventually. This Neon is just being a speed demon. Retake really successful by the Ducks, and they will retake the lead here.
Go, go, go.
Looks like they're mostly going to be going with Spectres. Boise State instead deciding to bring out a few Sheriffs. A few head clicks to victory, and maybe it works out.
I'm out of here.
I mean, if there's any team that could do it, it would be the Broncos.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Shocking.
Wow. Pretty aggressive posturing
I
here.
swear, these Neon players are like the most nervous wrecks before the gates drop.
That's me. That's me. I press E and then I just keep on spamming a right click. I like being fast.
Also, what happened to Boise State? Rariana's already down to half health.
Guess took a peek that wasn't that good. So far, the attackers having a little bit of a difficult time here. All of them? Oh, just barely isn't able to find it. Blind's coming through. Monkus will trade out. J-Bag finds one to Sheriff, but immediately two traded back for the Ducks. And now
Last
it's
player standing.
just Maze on the breach. It's going to find the plant on A site, but
Snuck by all of them. He's gonna, yeah, he wants to get the old point, just get every little thing that he can here.
30 seconds left.
Oh, this chamber is coming in hot.
well, he got the blind. But unfortunately did not find any damage.
Although, given the situation, just about everything Boise State wanted to do in terms of getting more credits, they did.
I swear to God, these guys.
Gotta go.
Just a Neon 360 spinning around the spike. So it was looking pretty decent there for the Broncos, but then all of a sudden it just got pulled away. Those two eliminations picked up and then just taken out.
Ultimately, a bunch of them caught out in garage. Boise State now has the one opportunity to purchase full rifles and bring this back, and oh my goodness, this Neon chill. Just stop. Ha!
Oh,
Can't
that
get
feels
away
so
from
good.
that.
That felt personal. Now Aldom's pushing through, will not get hit by the Sheriff. Spaz is out for a little bit there, but eventually. Okay, Frequent actually still in heaven. Drops down, finds Aldom. J-Bag picks up Monkus. Rariana picks up Rango. Rariana finds a whole bunch. And at the end of the day, it's a
My bot.
5 for 1. Broncos feeling good.
They weren't wasting any time to pick that one up. Now it's the true test of whether the Broncos can even things up and maybe start an avalanche of momentum in their favor. You see both at
Avalanche?
the top right. Yeah, I know.
Maybe on Icebox.
But we're still in the mountains. A rock slide.
Fine, a rock slide.
Are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy.
Blinded.
Chambers pushing through mid. Finds Aldom. Frequent. Might find another as well. Nope. Torque gets the better of that. So far, a trade. Oh. Rariana takes out the pest.
And that leaves A side pretty open. There's just Monkus left. If he drops, then that's a golden ticket to A. And that's so frustrating. Just trying to find the headshot and it just won't give it to you.
Finds the golden ticket to the factory. Might find an everlasting series on our hand. Flash, not gonna find anything. Another blind mayhaps, and will be a plant. But Castle takes out J-Bag, and now it's a 3 versus 3. Anybody is around here. Oh no.
One enemy remaining.
Wow, Castle is just tearing through the Broncos. And, okay, so I amend my statement. The Broncos thought they had a golden ticket, but eventually they, as it turns out, they forgot the one rule. Nobody ever goes in, and
Nope.
nobody ever comes out.
No stealing. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
All right,
Fortunately-
maybe they can bring it back.
Yeah. Broncos, definitely time for them to get up for the first time in 25 years, start walking, immediately go into a dance.
Coincidentally, too, you can't
Coincidentally.
you can't bother to get your feet out of bed for over 25 years, but all of a sudden, when an unlimited supply of chocolate that you can mooch off of comes, oh, I'm fine.
Did you know there's an entire subreddit just
Oh
dedicated
yeah,
to Uncle Joe Hayes?
he's the villain of the entire series. I'm telling you.
Aldum, oh, finds Castle, nice. It's B-side take. Blind's coming through. Aldum picks up another. Still has this dash to work with for a second. Just dashes through. Spike is planted. Ririana picks up Mike. And now it is a 5 versus 2. Broncos looking very good. Chamber does have his fancy French op, though.
We hear Dizzy being thrown out. This retake is ultimately very awkward for Oregon. Boise State is just holding this sideline down. They have a clear view of the spike. There's no agent that can provide some sort of smoke. And there's a flawless for the Broncos.
That's going to feel pretty good in terms of evening it up a little bit more. Still have a round to go to truly even it up, but also just to, survive flawlessly, get that eco looking pretty dang healthy. And now, Bai is a little bit scattered here for the Ducks. 8-9.
Mike is going to have to use his ultimate here to make up for his lack of guns.
We'll have to see if it does get used, because lots of ultimates on the side of Broncos as well. This is going to be a very fervorous 8-take. Rolling Thunder used. Aldum with the dash. 30 HP left and a dream. Finds one blinded, and they're just mowing him down. Castle finds a trade, but at the end of the day, it's a 4v2, and now this retake has gotten significantly more difficult for the Ducks.
Last player standing.
There's just one left, and it's Castle. Teleports on to the point they hear, they just spray that down.
Castle's like, guys, watch this. I'm going to clutch it.
Gonna clutch it.
They're like, guys,
Turn on the
Omen
recorder.
TP'd on the only place we can't see him. I mean, it was a good attempt, but
That would be, if he had pulled that off, that would have been
really clutch.
A great thing to clip if Valorant had a replay system, which it still doesn't.
No, things are bad when League of Legends has something that you don't.
Yeah.
So, how hard could it be?
They have their priorities in order. You got to make the next few skins.
True. And again, looking like an A push here. The Ducks kind of with an interesting position there on the attacker side, but now they've just completely abandoned their sight. J-Bag takes out the duelist. Oh, Castle with a nice spray transfer, though. Or not spray transfer, kind of just nice aim, I suppose.
Problem is, I think he might just fall victim to the swarm grenades at this point.
Yeah, you are correct. 4 HP in a dream, baby. Let's go. Oh, okay. So now 10-9, Broncos leading once again.
Again, that would have been a great opportunity to maybe rewatch that and learn a few things from it, about trying to shoot the swarm grenades. But unfortunately, again, that isn't an option. So
Isn't an option.
But the good news is that a new round of KDA skins is going to be brought out for League. So the resource management is top peak.
Gonna go down, 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 down. Hey, there's a song. That's one of their songs.
I know. It almost makes me forget the fact that there's no replay system.
There's no
yet.
replay system on Valorant. You seem very upset that there is no replay system in Valorant.
Yeah, you know, it's just it's one of those things, you
It's
know.
one of those things.
You know, whenever you see those small indie company moments, you know,
Small indie, yes, indeed.
they're giving the other small indie company a run for their money.
But enough about Riot Games. Let's talk about the true underdogs here, which is, I guess, these two teams. I don't know.
I mean, it's hard to call out one of these specific teams as an underdog because they've matched each other pretty evenly. It looks like it's kind of a repeat of what we saw on Ascent. Both teams are going to go north of double digits probably, go into overtime.
I mean, if Broncos keep on playing as well as they have in these past couple of rounds, maybe they just 13-9 it. Aldum goes up, finds the gecko. It was a little messy, but found it. Prowlers used, or Seekers.
Last player standing.
Now it's up to Mike the Cactus. Finds one, though.
This could be a huge breakaway for the Broncos. As you can see, the credit levels for Oregon now going to be probably just enough for them to purchase one more time, but there are, in fact, a few saves being brought out, a few judges. One judge. Those who purchase rifles are going to have to settle for half.
Oh, they sold the judge. I can't tell.
Go, go, go.
No, they still have it. Munkus going to be looking to be judge, jury, and executioner. Half shields across the board for the Ducks, so they're really betting the farm on this round.
He's just hanging out there in sewers.
Frequent taken out. I feel like the Broncos kind of feel like that, yeah, they're going to probably try and push us, so we'll just hold these corners.
We have the gun advantage, the person advantage. There's no reason for us to take any reckless peeks.
Munkus.
Meanwhile,
with his
yeah, Munkus
judge.
has just been. Oh, Maze also clears that out. He was waiting. He got one.
Got one. Mike the Cactus. Oh, Aldum finds the connection to the head. Beautiful. And so Aldum kind of evening up the score here in terms of the duels against Mike the Cactus. Will just be Castle. Question is, do you even attempt this retake? I feel like you kind of have to.
No real time to just save for the next round. Has to take a very uncomfortable position, and Oldham is just waiting to take him out. You pointed out something interesting that I also got to rehash on. Boise State, at the beginning of the match, we were saying how there's no real huge difference between their top and bottom fragers. That's basically held true until the very end of the match here. There's only 3 kills separating the top and bottom fragger, and everyone has a positive KDA.
Hey, that's what you like to see.
There's plenty of ultimates to go around as a result of that as Boise State goes to match point.
Blocking sight.
Definitely going to be using these on these rounds. Lots of things used, and Mike the Cactus tries to push, but gets blinded up, gets taken out. J-Bag TP's out of the goo.
I've got your trail.
Seeker's going to be brought out by Boise State. And an Omen teleport as well. Put some
J-Bag! I feel like that's the second time that's happened.
Yeah. It's been a consistent problem,
Hey,
but it's not too much.
It worked out. It worked out in the end. It was a big brain play. Lockdown going to be used just to buy some time.
KJ is going to wear off. I think Oregon in this thing, they're going to use the Thrash to engage. Okay, but it's time for, I want to see some fish sticks. I saw some fish sticks.
No
There
fish
we go.
sticks this time.
It's beautiful.
Jet still
They
has
just
knives.
Shut down that Thrash.
Aldum, now is your moment. Show that you can use the knives. Oh, gets taken out. Can't use the knives.
Like
Hackers win.
Patrick missing his pole vault, sending a vat of frying oil clear into the audience. Thrash is taken out almost immediately.
Sad.
But there's a sale on fish sticks I hear now, so
They're
that's
selling
always good.
fish sticks?
Yeah, I got to pick one up. I think they're only $1. That's a pretty good deal.
That is, depends on how many.
It depends. But we now know that Boise State is going to be heading over to a Lotus for the third stage. We'll take a short break and be back with the third and final stage of this best-of-3 Valorant match in the NECC, so stay tuned.
Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
On my hard days, I usually don't think about it. I just try to get to the next day and hope that the next day will be better.
My legs don't work like other people's, so I have to be in a wheelchair.
I take the needed medicine for everything that's going on in my body.
My wish is to redesign my bedroom.
My wish is to remodel my backyard. It's like that warm feeling, almost like you know something really good is gonna happen.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. You're currently watching an NECC Valorant match of Boise State taking on Oregon. Broncos and Ducks are still competing. The Broncos have evened things up in the second stage of this best of three, and now we head all the way to Lotus to decide who will be the winner. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, joined by Noah Guidara to call all of the action for you here tonight. Broncos are looking for a nice way to end the regular season, the penultimate match of the regular season, if you will. They've got one match after this, so can they ultimately pull it off? And I got to say, both these teams, they've gone north of double digits in every single round so far. Do you think we're seeing the same thing for Lotus?
Well, I mean, I guess technically the Ducks went 9. It was 13-9, but basically as close as you can to double digits. I really hope we don't see like quadruple overtime on Lotus. You know, it's always that third map, you know, those best of threes when, you know, maybe nerves or fatigue starts getting to you.
Yep.
So, again, Broncos just got to, you know, get those little advantages on top like they did on Haven, be able to, you know, just win those fights, you know, take the numerical advantages, and I think they did that pretty well on Haven. Just transition that onto Lotus, and, you know, hopefully they can pull away. Maybe, you know, 13-9, they would be happy with that, especially when you have 2 subs. I mean, at the end of the day, a win's a win.
I think it's the same general principles when you like have a best of 7 Rocket League match or a best of 7 League of Legends match. I don't know whoever would try to organize that because that's an inherently crazy idea, but you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes those long-term matches can just, you know, ease in and start to mess with the player's performance.
Yeah, definitely. Once, you know, Valorant, especially as it's such like a mechanically intensive game where you always got to be constantly thinking about like what's going on, and it's like you lose a gunfight and then all of a sudden maybe you get a little tilted, and then maybe that compounds, and so, you know, you really just got to be able to follow a strategy, and you got to follow, you know, some certain keys from a certain person to be able to win.
Yeah, that certain person is our very own Doc Haskell, whose pieces of advice for Valorant is to focus angles and flank, know your win condition, count cards and call abilities, and of course click heads. It's all brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. You can play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned player, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. Now we head into the new toward the newest stage on the block, Lotus, bringing the number of 3-point stages to 2. Ultimately, you know, if this game goes on long enough, we'll start to have best of 3s where every single stage is a 3-point map.
That's what I like to hear. Let's go. You know what? Bring out the 5-point stage. 5-point stage. Just got to put a defender on every point.
Spike down, site E.
Site E.
Oh my goodness.
See, Tort, changing up the character.
Not too much of a difference between both teams, however. Boise State is favoring the Fade, whereas Oregon has decided to bring out Raze.
All of them on the flank with the Frenzy. Finds the headshot. Gets taken out while reloading. Now Tort, no, didn't really find any contact, but Rariana evens it up. Again, just trades back and forth, but in terms of health, Broncos are at a disadvantage. And taking over to C-site.
The Broncos are taking a rather long flank.
Suspected maybe it was A, but they guessed wrong. Now they gotta haul over to C-site.
Plenty of time for Oregon to set up their defense. Get their sidelines all set up, and especially Maze down at only 10 health. It's at risk of, yeah, just getting caught out in their animations. And one paint shell's thrown out. Just try to get that extra bit of chip damage in. It works, and Oregon goes up 1.
We've had a 1 grenade, yes, but what about a second grenade? So,
And, oh my goodness, Oregon, calm down.
going for the Vandals.
Yeah, they
They said, we just can aim better. Let's go get some headshots.
Okay, really, calm down.
Oh, and it's your favorite gun. It's your favorite gun.
Well, sure, but I mean, have some decency, have some modesty here.
They say, what's a bonus round? Monkus immediately going through. Isn't finding anything on the Sheriff quite yet. Blinds coming through. Wallbang, though. That's the Vandal doing work. Tort firing with the classic. Not finding any contact. And
Ace is just hearing so much gunfire from the rifles and it's just saying, okay, I'm done. Please, I just want to fold. Give me a new hand, and then we'll try again tomorrow.
Team Ace.
Yeah,
So
okay.
they took the gamble and it paid off big.
And now they'll have 3 ARs to bonus. What? You know what? It's like you said, they just don't know what a bonus round is. And
They don't need it's the bonus round. Monk is saving up for an operator most likely. Again, you know, with a payback that big, it's like they're investing in cryptocurrency, but we'll see if that crashes.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll have to see if this is, in fact, FTX for the Ducks.
Will they go to the moon, or will the only moon instead be more like Lunacoin, and they're going to lose every single thing?
A little bit of a sea lurk around here. They don't even have the spike, so they're just looking for defenders. Oh, look at those sight lines.
They're very gingerly making their way into that KJ util. Boise State is going to activate it, and that's going to keep Oregon at bay. Rariana is going to rotate over to C.
KJ versus KJ. Oh, sees it.
Mike the Cactus,
but is playing this well. It was a good idea.
There we go. He's trying to pick up the last one.
Gets concussed. Now the Ducks don't really have a lot of time to work with. Torque picks up the raise, and that is a flawless. Exactly what the Broncos needed to get back into this game.
And now, now we get to see the full. Now we get to see some of the consequences of Oregon, you know, buying so much, because a few of them are going to be forced onto half shields. One of them looks like their breach actually is trying to decide whether they want to go with full shields and lesser gun. Yeah, they're going to have to be put onto a Guardian with half shields.
Not the greatest buy, but it's still pretty decent.
Initial charge up A. Maze is just going to try to jiggle peek this, try to pick up some damage here and there. He picks up a lot more damage than he gives, and Monkus eliminates Oldham. The charge continues to go up A.
Line's being used, a little bit of that Roomba is looking for an enemy.
Prowler thrown out is going to get the headshot onto Monkus. Maybag is trying to bring this back, but he misjudges a wallbang. And that's going to leave only one left for Boise State. Good news is for them is this breach is very, very low on health, but he's going to have to get through this much more healthy KJ. He does. And takes out breach like it was nothing. There's just one left, and it's this Omen who's also very much hurting on health.
He's going around. He's being sneaky. Placing a sentry turret. Rariana, do you suspect it?
It's a ring around the rosy. Yeoman moves in.
Oh.
That turret. It's just...
That turret needs to get fired.
Yeah, that is subpar engineering if I've ever seen it.
Subpar engineering.
I'm just saying, KJ's always bragging about how good her tech is, but that was...
It's to upgrade the algorithm, I
that
suppose.
was not, you know... The thing about a turret, or just a good sentry, is that it can catch everything, you know what I mean?
And when a gun doesn't work, use more gun. All done with the operator, though.
Problem is, if Oldham's gun doesn't work, I don't think he has more gun to use because it's such a big investment for that operator. He immediately gets smoked off. He's going to just try to stick through it, but gets hit again with more breach util. Everybody's favorite. And you know what? How about some more stunning? Let's just let Oldham play at all for this round and take his op away from him.
2v4. Oh no, the nades. The breach. Just gets sprayed down, and now it's just Rihanna left. Somehow does not find a single bullet on Frequent. Now it's 1-4. The Broncos kind of falling behind here against the Ducks.
And there's going to be no room to even get, you know, one AR to maybe try to make a GOAT play or turn things around. Instead, it's going to be all Sheriffs, a few Stingers, very cheap budget options.
SNS, Sheriffs and SMGs.
Sheriffs and Stingers.
Sheriffs and Stingers, Sheriffs and SMGs.
Sheriffs and Specters. You know what?
Sheriff
no matter
and
what
Spectres.
SMG, you're covered.
Yeah, Sheriff and SMG.
Oh,
but
Rihanna.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
Well, if you can land those headshots, the Sheriff is going to prove itself very valuable in a hurry.
More importantly, this gives them information on where the spike is. G-Bag almost finds 2.
This means that there are a whole lot of very valuable guns that are now available on C-Point for Boise State to pick up. They just got to make sure they check this angle that Frequent is hiding out in. They couldn't possibly just walk right past it. Oldham!
Okay, he decided to go for a smoke, I suppose, while he knew the rest of the Broncos were there. Now it's a 1v1, but Maze has no HP to work with.
Oh. That's rough.
It was a nice headshot. Definitely for an eco round, it was pretty
Oh,
decent.
yeah, of course. We see those 2 replays and not another replay that I would have liked to see.
No. We don't need... what are you even talking about? There's no war in busing, say, you know?
Everyone is safe here.
Everyone is safe. Be deemed a traitor.
See, the thing is, I think Judy would have checked that angle. Because
Who?
they just check everything. They are checking every single alleyway, making sure that there are no ridiculous rumors of any impending conquest being spread in the city.
Waste the bazooka doesn't have that anymore. It's still going to be a decent site take. TP and immediately a headshot. Looks like both sides are getting in on this Omen TP action. Broncos have a strong position coming into this retake. Rango and Mike the Cactus are going to have a really tough time, but Mike finds one. Taken out by Maze, and now it's just J-Bag taking out Rango. Broncos with 3 remaining.
Rihanna realizes, hey, I'm full up on my ultimate. Maze! I don't think you have enough time to even get over there. Okay, can half stick at Maze. You gotta get over here so you can be the one who actually gets the ultimate point. There we go.
Five seconds left.
Still had a good amount of time.
It's like, guys, wait, I gotta find the gun. I gotta go find the better gun skin.
Gotta make sure that you're looking good.
Oldham, the classic here, trying to save up, but
I think, well, he has his Blade Storm ready, so he's just gonna use that.
I suppose that's good observation. Mungus immediately going in, but all the
Well,
gets blinded. Already misses 2 of those knives. Oh, actually finds one, so it's a decent trade. End of the day, it's pretty decent.
Found them.
Cover going out.
Oregon is being forced back to their spawn, trying to group up with each other as their spike planner still looks like he wants to push A. There's a lot of sight lines that are going to be that Boise State is going to be taking, so they put out 2 more smokes.
Or just AFK, sitting in this corner.
Is just waiting. Has his crosshair placement down pat. Just needs to head click and
Not down pat enough.
misses by a few pixels.
Not down pat enough, unfortunately. Still, numerical advantage here for the Broncos.
30
J-Bag
seconds left.
suspecting a B take, but now this is going to be an open A site for the Ducks. Oregon gonna be able to find this plant. A little bit of a bamboozle.
Spike
And
planted.
Maze is also going to get bamboozled by getting caught out in his own spawn. You know, okay, you know, that's going to keep that Omen at bay for even longer. Ariana is going to be using... I was thinking of using the lockdown, but here's the doors open.
One enemy remaining.
Nice headshot.
Takes out Rango.
We'll actually use it this time. So you have to believe this is going to be a defuse.
Yeah, you just got to defuse now. Maybe just try to let one other person body block you.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, no!
Are you kidding me?
Wait, does it still get
Pro
the defuse
stick
though?
it! Pro stick it!
Gets the defuse. Now, does the trade come through? That is the question. J-Bag is pushing. Doesn't win the fight, but it is a defuse.
That's the best they could have hoped for. Now Boise State, no doubt getting the extra credits from that round win. We're still going to be able to just run it back and purchase full rifles and shields again.
Tort with the sheriff. Oh. Never mind with the marshal. Never mind with the sheriff.
Satchel Lin, this race is playing really fast.
TP comes through and all of them spots it, but Castle finds 2 in succession.
You should run.
With this
And-
lockdown, Rariana's going to try and make a play happen. Well, at least take out the Killjoy. Things evened up here.
And everyone groups back up in A, opens the door and moves through it. Throwing a bomb bot out just to try to feel A point out a little bit before they decide to go planting on it, but not wasting too much time, however.
Spike planted.
So now back from heaven, Rariana has a difficult retake, is trying to coordinate the push-in with every other player. Gonna count down and then peek and, well...
Player standing.
Peeking it one at a time and...
Yeah, okay, Did I mention that defending on these 3-point stages is always a little bit more tricky than you would think?
I think you have. That was
Okay,
also just really good aiming by Munkus.
I just wanted to throw that out there one more time.
Now just pistols across the board for the Broncos. 3-6 in terms of rounds. The Ducks with a pretty hefty lead.
Rolling Thunder used by Oregon. And just waiting is Oldham to be taken out.
J-Bag.
Player
No,
standing.
can't even find one, and Munkus
Well,
takes
I like
out
the
J-Bag.
positioning and ideas for all the Broncos plays, but they're just
Spike
running into the
planted.
reality of these handguns. And just how general a safe round is going to turn out.
Rihanna's like, I want that so badly.
But it's okay, fix it up.
Oh, doesn't even find it.
And Oregon is now going to go up 4 rounds. The best that Boise State can hope for at this point is that they take it back on this round with their newly acquired Vandals. And they're able to kind of keep that momentum going into the next round. But Oregon has so many credits right now in their pocket that even if Boise State wins this next round, they're going to have to face a full bye again from Oregon.
Definitely looking a little rough on the defending side. Aldum and Tort might be pushing up here. And they just lose out to this Killjoy. Mike the Cactus picks up 2. And it's a B take for once. J-Bag finds 1, isn't able to find the Killjoy though.
One down. One enemy remaining.
Mike actually has the opportunity to pick up an ace here. He's searching. Rariana is still hanging out in C, so Mike, if he's quick enough, could actually get a full flank, and that could lead to, well, not if he goes that way.
Was it an ace? I feel like somebody else picked up at least 1.
No, that we haven't seen any aces this match so far.
No, I was talking about elimination in this round. Okay. Yes, he has 4, in fact.
Thank you, J-Bag, for reminding all of us.
Okay. This just in, I can't count.
It happens to all of us.
Rihanna. Here's the footsteps.
Well, okay.
And they say, come here, get the ace, get the ace, get the ace.
Well, he's not gonna.
And nobody can aim, but Rihanna just gets the dink. Last round before the half, the Broncos going to be looking to 4 to 8 it at least. Otherwise, they're going to be in a tough spot. Going to have a lot of rounds to make up.
And they got to do it on the back of 3 Guardians.
Guardians of the Seaside.
Once again, Oregon is just going for the strength and numbers routine, pushing through A immediately. Oldham is going to be unable to land a few of those shots, and now all this breach util is making his job a lot harder.
Oh no, sprays through and Frequent finds it. Now Maze. Gonna be using some of that util. Nades coming through. Health bars are looking better for the Broncos. Well, actually, no, I lied. Looking about even here. J-Bag on the flank. Oh, takes out Frequent.
He's brought himself down to low health.
Oh no.
Well, okay.
Bazooka's not been on point here. At least in this series.
One enemy remaining.
2v1. It's up the castle.
Oh
no.
Just, oh.
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. J-Bag had to reload.
I was thinking they were going to pick up that kill in the exact same way that Oregon did against them earlier. The gun just, the barrel of the gun pokes through the smoke, and well, the rest is pain.
The rest is pain. You heard it here first, folks.
Well, Boise State trails 6 rounds, 9-3. But we do know Lotus can be a bit lopsided in attack and defense. So the question is, does Boise State run a similar rally that Oregon pulled off? It would be a huge win for Oregon here in the first pistol round. That means Alpha Eco, they could theoretically take this up to 11 and leave the Broncos with almost no room for error.
That would be very good for the Ducks. But it looks like immediately they're just rushing towards the C site. All of them dashing through. They take out Mike the Cactus. Now this is an open C site. The retake is going to be a little bit of a pincer maneuver on both sides. Does it get smelled out, though? That is the question.
Monkus just starts blasting. Trade back and forth between Mango and Maze. Monkus lands a shot onto Maze. J-Bag trades it back onto Monkus. It's now down to just one for Oregon. But he's standing firm. He might get stalled out just on time, though. That KJ, that Swarm Grenade already burned a good bit of time off, and J-Bag peeks through the smoke, gets a headshot onto Castle, and the Broncos now, it's the first step of many, but they've won a round.
First step of many indeed. 4-9. Getting that first round victory on attackers guarantees you're pretty much going to win this next one. Although I may have just cast or cursed it, we'll have to see.
Boise State also is going for look at these ARs purchased by Boise State. They're pulling an Oregon here. They do not want to stop at all in their quest to tie this up.
Sentry placed. Oh, they learned their lesson. They spray through that. But unfortunately, there's nobody there that time. Rihanna finds somebody on transition.
That is tragic.
Oh, Mike the Cactus.
In reaction to that pick, they're going to smoke off Mike for a few seconds till they get the spike down. Then move slowly up to swing around the corner. They get Mike, and they get Monkus as well. Boise State still up one.
Do they?
Okay, they are checking that angle. Drariana, still just on the gunplay alone, secures a triple and the round win for Boise State.
It looks like the Ducks there were like, okay, this is probably going to happen. But fortunately for Ariana, the utility assist there by Maze was able to just allow him to, you know, find those peaks.
Oregon actually, despite the fact that this is the third round and normally you can purchase full rifles, they're still stuck on a few saves. That is huge for the Broncos' bonus.
In terms of gun power, going to be a little bit weaker here for the Ducks. Prowler being used. Frequent, spotted out, gets blinded. But it's a trade. Now Mike is running, saying, hey everyone, it's C-Site. We'll have to see how this retake goes for Oregon.
Monkus trying to peek out. Gonna throw out the bomb bot. Gets one. Board lines back and forth, and Oldham evens things up. The pick on Durango. Quickly followed with Maze getting Mike.
One enemy remaining.
There's just one left for Oregon.
And two left here for the Broncos, 6-9. So bringing it back, one round victory at a time. And Jacob, I hate to say it, I think we may have a game on our hands.
And I definitely think Boise State, with the way they've been attacking, they've kind of been, you know, taking advantage of the fundamental nature that is these three-point maps. You know, if you just rush in, you know, just on pure probability, it's very unlikely the other team is committed to one of the 3 points. So if you rush in all as a group, you know, you're guaranteeing you're having most likely a 5-on-1, 5-on-2.
Quick math. Monkus with the knives. Gets taken out, though.
Rariana also picks up a Rango. Castle is waiting right there to get Rariana. He's going to retreat into the doorway. With the smoke going through, Boise State's going to open the door. Maybe try to bait a peek out from Oregon. It's not going to work.
Spray's coming through, though. Maze takes out that raise. Tort is just lurking, is just waiting. Mike the Cactus has 0 HP.
One enemy remaining.
Wow. Kind of a hard thing to deal with, you know, having no HP. Freaking with the judge. One judge in a dream. Let's go.
This is not the close-range combat he was hoping for.
Might find Tort, though. gets taken out, so finds one at least. 7-9. It's getting close. It's getting close here.
And once again, Oregon is purchasing a judge. I mean, for B site and C site, yeah, it makes a lot more sense. Those are pretty enclosed.
They're like, guys, they're going B site. I can feel it in my bones.
Well, it might just be a good prediction. A lot of Boise State, yeah, they are going to go either B or C. Throw out it. They're going B. You called it.
Look at me. I'm a freaking genius over here calling
The
it.
thing is, this is exactly the situation that Oregon purchased the judge for. Does it actually work out?
Well, they're going to have to wait a little bit because this lockdown is going to keep them away for at least 2 weeks here. Door being used.
Oh,
Judge
it was!
Oh. You got too hyped.
I thought we were seeing the beginning of a beautiful thing.
Quite unfortunate.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, quality play by J-Bag. Picks up a double. Maze and Oldham also pick up one for themselves, and now Boise State is just within one.
I don't think they've dropped a single one ever since being on attack.
Nope, they've won 5 rounds in a row.
That has to feel pretty dang good.
I think it's the longest streak we've seen so far this match.
For sure. And if the Broncos even it up here, you know, this being kind of a attacker-sided map.
And it's only kind of really being made worse by the fact that Oregon, I'm not seeing really any full save rounds for them quite yet. All of the round, at least 1 or 2, all of these rounds, 1 or 2 of them is just purchasing an AR. And that's just forcing these very awkward rounds again and again and again. Oregon just can't match the firepower of Boise State.
A little bit of Guardian action we got going on over at A site. Broncos moving this spike over. Monkas has the dash.
And, well, not going to be able to use it anymore. He's the first pick. More util being placed onto A site.
Oh, that nanostorm going to hurt, though.
Spike planted.
Takes a decent bit of damage from that swarm grenade. Although it's actually not. It's not that decent at all. It's just a little chip. All things considered.
This retake is going to be very difficult for Oregon.
Especially since they don't have their flank available to them at all.
Hold on, kind of just hiding up here. Not really a place you check.
Rango, yeah, Maze has this sideline locked down. It's still a difficult choice. I mean, everything they have a sideline on.
One enemy remaining.
There's just one left. They ping where Castle is. He gets taken out by J-Bag, and they're going to get away from the spike explosion, too.
Yeah, nobody even gets wiped by the spike, so pretty good round there by the Broncos, tying it up, and now the momentum is in their favor. Now, surely this will be a clean round. The Broncos will continue to not win or not lose anymore. Misspoke there.
You crossed your wires.
Freudian slip. Have a timeout coming in. Gonna try and slow the pace of the Broncos.
The second time out brought out by Oregon. Boise State also just isn't a team that calls timeouts too often. There have been lots of matches we've had so far where the other team calls all their timeouts, but Boise State doesn't even use one.
Maybe they're just like, guys, we don't need to use timeouts. We're just better.
Well, I mean, it's a timeout for both teams, so Boise State has just as much time to talk amongst themselves as Oregon does.
I mean, what do you even talk about at this point? You're just like, you've won 6 rounds in a row. You just be like, all right, good job, guys. Keep on aiming well.
And I think it's a good chance for Oregon to remind themselves of just the fact that they probably need just a little bit better coordination on their purchase strategies, making sure that they can get that one round where they all have Vandals or Phantoms, and just being able to match Boise State, because this current strategy of, there's one person who has a judge, one person who has a sheriff every round just is getting Oregon nowhere very fast.
They're getting a little too creative. We could say that. We'll have to see. Ooh. Spotted out.
Door rotates. A lot of firing through the spike. They actually get to see Rango, and Apina's going to go up there.
Concussed for now, but that will vanish.
Oh,
Spike.
These two Killjoys are like back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
Mike versus Rariana.
And who will actually win in that fight?
Mike will.
Mike will. Maybe next time, Rariana.
Oh my goodness, just dashes in.
Blocking sight.
Boise State is a bit behind, though. So a lot
30
of time
seconds left.
put into this plant. Teleport forward. The plant is going to go down on B. They're able to pick off Mike and Castle. That was a bit. Oh, two Rolling Thunders, one used in response to the other. Oldham swings around, is able to get frequent.
One bullet left. Now this B retake is going to be so difficult.
One enemy remaining.
Or finds Rango through the smoke. Now it's just up to Munkus.
He gets spotted out by the Prowler. Boise State knows where he is. And there isn't enough time for him to really retake this point. He's going to move back to his spawn and just go into a save. Although he might be taken out.
Oh,
He is.
no guns saved here. Broncos take the lead.
Okay, this is once again, they can't even, Oregon can't even bring one rifle into this round. It's all going to have to be Stingers, one judge, and a sheriff.
That sounds like a show. Stingers, gun, and sheriff.
Just a
Stingers. Do you say judge?
A judge,
The Stingers,
a
the
judge
ju-
and a sheriff walk into a bar.
The Stingers, the judge, and the sheriff. Tuesdays at 9 p.m.
You make it sound like the judge is with the sheriff in the patrol car. Just ready. They're ready to do it fast. Rapid fire.
You've been
Arrested. Here's your trial
served.
right now. Rango moving slowly up toward the mound. Boise State holding back. They know they have the long range advantage.
They've mastered the art of moving so silently that they are imperceptible to the human eye.
You know, it's just like the T-Rex. If you don't move, it can't see you. Or if you move slowly enough. I can't remember. That's probably why I wouldn't survive.
What if that's actually true, you know?
No, it isn't. Not for a moment, of course.
Just go back to the Jurassic era?
Of course dinosaurs can see.
It's a hot take. I'm going to need some evidence. We have some jet on jet fighting, but Munkus is victorious. 5 HP left. Broncos have to make a decision. They have to plant this A site.
One enemy
Rariana finds 3. Finds 4. Says, I don't need the team. I got myself. Sheesh.
I mean, Munkus, it seemed like he was opening up some sort of route for Oregon. Then Rariana just swings around, takes him in the back. None of them are really looking that way. Only the Jet gets a split-second view of Rariana. And it's not enough time for the team to react. And now Boise State has won 8 rounds in a row.
Another judge. We keep on seeing this judge.
And ultimately, Oregon I ultimately
Castle.
don't know, maybe a showstopper that's a bit more long range, and it doesn't pick up anybody.
It's what, about the third, fourth time that's happened?
Prowler is going to probably see both of those Oregon players.
We might have a little bit of fight here in the spawn. The spike is spotted out. We'll have to see if it is a collapse from the Ducks.
We found one.
Oh. Rihanna doesn't detain anyone. There still is an Omen that is lurking. Just taken out with a classic, and Judge. There's actually a Judge elimination picked up, and I guess I'm just a hater. But hey, you know.
I mean, hey, it took 8 rounds, but they got one.
Well, I think there was like 1 or 2 before, but they're taking their sweet time on the defuse, Oregon.
Well, Frequent was the first one to get there, and he's already full up on an ultimate. And gonna give it to someone.
Hey, double digits on both sides.
More. Yeah, who could have called this?
It's looking like your favorite time might be approaching.
Yep. I don't know, Boise State certainly has a lot of credits saved up for a rainy day. So I think they can just full purchase for the rest of the game, honestly. They've won so many rounds in a row.
You just got to close it out. Can't be sloppy. Same goes for the Ducks. Again, they had a huge lead coming into this, and they could still, you know, take it. Looking like a C push. Castle.
Oh, the bomb runs into the wall. That's tragic.
Womp womp.
Look at this satchel use. He's throwing it out like it's a grenade. Interesting play. I think it gets a little bit of damage onto this Jet and Fade, but ultimately Boise State is still at basically full health as they move in towards C.
And now we have the defender lockdown being used. See, the plant can come out. It will. But now this retake is going to be significantly easier for the Ducks. Already going to be able to push onto site. They have the numerical advantage as Monk is line them up. Doesn't find it, but now it's just the Fade. Gets taken out. And it's evened up. And my fellow cookcaster, you look very happy.
Oh, they must be joking. These players are the greatest comedians of all time.
Used to think this cast was a tragedy,
Sure,
but now
surely.
it's a comedy.
Surely they must be telling all of the jokes right now.
Nobody's secured 12 rounds, though.
Nope.
Still could go either way.
But we're at effective overtime now. A team has to win by 2 rounds.
And already the Broncos pushing up onto this A site. Aldum finds one. Isn't able to find another. Monkus gets some nice damage. Dashes back, uses the zip line. But it looks like neither team is in any hurry to really pick up the pace of this round.
And everything, despite that initial pick from the Broncos, everything's slowed to a crawl. As they break down the door and are going to use that to move over into B, but there's a lot of KJ util there. The alarm box is going to be triggered.
It's marked, so they'll kind of suspect that his retake is coming through the concuss, but Rango gets taken out. Mike the Cactus still available. J-Bag with 6 HP.
They're blind with fear.
Mike tries. Oh, he doesn't check the angle.
Bring them down.
Now Oregon, I hear.
I hear it up.
One enemy
Bit of fire
remaining.
exchanged. Oldham picks up his triple.
Castle's
Now it's
just saving.
left up to Castle. who might be found out by J-Bag here, honestly.
Oh, classic.
And Boise State.
What?
I mean, it's all to make sure that he drops the op.
Well, no. I know that. I was just saying that was a pretty nice.
It was a nice reflex in the end. But yeah, dropping that op means that at the most important round, there is going to be at least one half shield on Oregon's side.
Fortunately, J-Bag is not able to pick it up, and then a bit of a sacrificial play here. All of them gets taken out. And surely the Broncos will close it out 13-11, and we will not go into overtime. All of them coming in with the op, with the knives. Gets taken out, being anticlimactic, but Torrent with the plant. But already a 3v5. And I'm afraid that this is not looking like we're going to go 13-11. It's going to go 12-12, Jacob.
I don't really quite know what happened there.
Overtime.
Boise State seemed to be of the mind that if we plant as fast as we possibly can, you know, it doesn't matter that we're getting fired at from all directions. It's got to work out for us.
I mean, Aldum had an op and had knives. Decided to use neither, really. But,
well, now we head into overtime. Boise State's going to be forced back on defense. I think whoever wins defense first is going to be the team to get this.
Is that your claim?
Well, I mean, just look at how defense has gone for both teams. They've only managed to win 3.
Suppose that's true.
So if Boise State is able to win here and like put themselves at the match point on defense, then things are looking good for them.
Aldum. Oh, lines it up. Oh,
Spike down.
isn't able to spray transfer, but gets one. They know the spike is down C. The question is whether they commit to it or not. Well, it looks like the Ducks are committing to it.
Spike planted.
Oh, J-Bag might have caught himself. Oh, Rariana, excuse me. Yeah, J-Bag catches himself in a
Last player
off guard. He gets taken out by Munkus, and yeah, things go probably the way we expected them to. Oregon winning on attack.
Switching
But
sides.
now Boise State's on attack again, and Oregon's got to win on defense, and it's probably going to be reset.
Well, it's coming through into the ground. No. Nothing too crazy here, just ARs across the board. Obviously, util purchased if you can. We'll have to see if the Broncos can win on attack. Hope so.
They probably do. That's the way things have been going out so far. Munkus, if he gets taken out on this attempt, yeah, it's going over to Boise State.
Hey, don't speak too soon.
I'm gonna speak too soon. I don't care about the caster curse this time. I am tired. I am bitter.
You are damaged internally. Like the cactus. Just lurking around B site, but again, none of the Broncos are over there yet. Castle and Alda might be getting into a little bit of a tuffle here. And it's so quiet you could almost fall asleep.
You could.
But I think it's
I
time
don't
to
think
wake
they're
up.
aware- They're not aware of that swarm grenade, though. That's going to take off a bit of health from the Broncos. And Castle just mows past 2 of them.
Uses the grenade, but nobody's coming through that way. Has a satchel, doesn't... Oh, no.
Spike down, C.
2 versus 2 now. Still anybody's game. Tor is planting.
Enemy remaining.
Frequent taken out.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, no.
Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, I never had any doubt.
You
I
never
called
had
it
any
at the
doubt.
beginning, and I had full faith the entire way through.
Switching sides.
That is true. You
Overtime.
said that the Boise State was going to take it after one elimination. In your mind's eye, you knew.
I'm not so sure about this next round, however. I don't think I can make a prediction here.
My prediction, 14-14, triple overtime.
Probably. Probably.
All of them with the op, though. All right, Mace. Show us what you got. We're going to have a battle of the
Movings.
Omens.
Oh, oh,
Oh!
That's even so far in the trades, which, to be honest, Boise State on kind of the disfavored side is not a bad way to start out, although Frequent takes Tord out. Now it's just left up to 2 Broncos to try to retake.
Yep, decides to trade out the op for the Vandal.
Planted.
Oh, it gets a nice headshot, but again, this Jet has no armor. This retake is going to be difficult for the Broncos, but if there's anybody who can do it, it would be them.
Last player standing.
Yep, Alden taken out, no armor. Gets headshot. And thing that would surprise nobody, the attackers win.
Switching sides. Match point.
Yep. Who could have seen this?
I mean, we just saw it, so
And now we're in purgatory for an undisclosed amount of time.
purgatory. 1,000 years for every time somebody doesn't check a corner.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in this situation, I can't pay to lessen the time spent in here, so you're going to be
Just to make things even slower, we're going to have a timeout.
15th century Europe. This isn't.
15th century Europe. I've got a few theses to say about that, you know?
Yeah. How
About
many?
95.
I think it's more than 94 at least,
It's
but
not-
probably
it's at
less
least
than
then.
96.
At least 95.
Okay. Well, at this point, I mean, Boise State is now they're caught in kind of a loop here because we know that attack is heavily favored, and so Boise State is having to tie it up every single chance they have on defense. And ultimately, I see them trying to, shake things up when they are on defense, going with that op. The problem is just there's so many more routes to take that, that great op play that we saw on Ascent, which granted the Broncos did win that one, but still, I mean, we did see a lot of great pickoffs on Ascent with the op, but it's just so much more difficult to find someone peeking through the one corridor you're holding.
It's much more claustrophobic map. So using the op is difficult. Tort already getting the plant down. A site undefended here. Now J-Bag. Does he win this fight here? Oh.
Cover going out.
Nice pick by J-Bag. It's going to start out. Yeah,
Mariana lines up 3.
well, Munkus gets 1. And 2. He's moving in. No doubt he's got the adrenaline flowing. And he's going to try to stick it. Does Boise State even realize? Oh, a missed right click, and that does it.
Stops the defuse, but I feel like
Switching sides.
Broncos didn't even hear the defuse going through.
I think
Maybe-
he just could have stuck that and won it.
But now we're going into triple overtime.
Everyone's favorite.
Little
All
picture-in-picture madness there to celebrate the madness that we are going through.
To accurately reflect my mental state right now.
Just infinite.
I appreciate the visual storytelling. Okay, I was thinking if you were going to take us into a break at that point.
If I was going to what?
I was talking to production there. That stinger made me think we were going to be going into a break.
Yeah, take a break.
This would be the worst possible time.
Oh, I
to
think
take
you've had a break all right. Now, KJ's traded out.
Nice pick by J-Bag. It puts the Broncos in lead by 1. You know, the main thing that's tripped up the Broncos is kind of unexpected sidelines being taken. So if all of Oregon is bunched up and they know where they are, then this 3-person advantage, I was going to say 4, but now this 1-person advantage they have can still,
Spike
they can
planted.
use the full utility of that.
Do they suspect that Tort is over here?
Yeah, did they back up far enough? They are!
Remaining.
Huge play by Tort. It's 1v3. Prowler goes out. He's being shot in the back, and Boise State, they've got their defense win.
Got their defense win. They just got to get their offense win.
Okay, the difficult part is out of the way.
The paradigm has shifted.
But now do they trip over their
Switching sides.
shoelace when the
Match point.
do they trip over their proverbial shoelace while they're just 1 foot away from the finish line now?
Well, if you say it like that, maybe.
I'm trying to get you to reassure me that we're going to end this, and now I'm questioning.
I have no reassurances
Now I
here.
am questioning everything again.
I'm just in the dark as you. I cannot read the future. But I mean, they got the defense win, so if they can just get the attack win, then you can go home.
And they are checking all
They
their
checked it!
angles. They're doing their due diligence.
All of them, come on, push through. You know you want to.
Oh, Rango gets the first pick, but a few picks from Boise State is going to put them back in the lead. J-Bag also picks up Frequent. But Rango is still being a threat. He's picked up a double for himself. J-Bag on a long flank.
Maybe too long of a flank.
Okay, speaking of long flanks, look at Mace. He's going all the way back into spawn. It's just Rango left. He's got to clutch it.
And now A-side is open for the taking. Rango going to have to 1v3 clutch it, or it is going to be the series for the Broncos. Gonna get collapsed on. Oh, maybe not.
Spike planted.
For a second there, it looked like Aldum was chasing. This is going to be so difficult for Rango.
Boise State is just slowly closing the trap in. With this Jet moving in from the top, I think he's going to be pinched in from both sides. He's stunned, and there's the final pick. Boise State gets the win in triple overtime.
Triple overtime.
And we didn't, you know, it says something that the biggest landslide, quote unquote, was a 12-9 win.
13-9, yeah.
13-9 win. Oh my
Definitely.
goodness. What an intense matchup between both of these teams. Well, congrats to the Broncos for winning that best of 3. Now's a chance that we get time to, you know, shout out a very particular player, and it might also be time, you know, since they are subbing in, we might give a special nod.
Special
the two
nod to
substitutes.
Tort and Maze. However, if I had to say player, I'm going to say Rariana.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I would think of both of them. I think you could probably make both the subs, I think you can make a solid argument for Tort being in there. So I'm going to go with Tort.
We'll have to see.
Mainly just because, you know, it's a very high-stakes game. I know, but it's, you knew.
I knew.
You knew it was Rariana. And, well, you know, you can't necessarily argue with this play here.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
this
one
play
was
single-handedly got them the round.
so gross.
Just right-clicking his way to happiness.
Then also had a lineup, is for sure. All right, when does it happen? When does it happen?
Right, this play, because he came and they weren't looking at all. Only the Jet barely sees him for a split second, and then he picks up a quad. Yeah, I can't argue with those plays. Rariana definitely deserving player of the game, brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like how Idaho Central helps its members achieve financial success. Rariana is your ICCU player of the game. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Noah, it's been a long journey. Do you have any final thoughts?
I think if you're University of Oregon, yellow, obviously, coming in underdog in this and facing off against the Broncos, who had 2 subs, so it's kind of a weird situation, but I think you can be pretty proud of the performance that you put up. You gave them a good fight.
They certainly did. It was a nail-biter until the very end. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. That's going to do it for us tonight. We hope you have a good evening and enjoy your top 5 plays.
We have a lockdown going to be able to be used on the side of the Broncos, so we'll have to see how they use this. Might be able to use it for a B push again, unless the Ducks have something to say about it. But Maze takes out Castle.
Swing around the corner. There's still one left. Mike is next on the menu. J-Bag, but he's holding the spike. There's one hanging back in Boathouse. Boise State uses their teleport. The Omen teleports back into back.
No.
Found out. Oh my goodness. You hate to see it. You hate to see that too. I mean, Monkus with a triple. Though. So a lot of time put into this plant. Teleports forward. The plant is going to go down on B. They're able to pick off Mike and Castle. That was a bit, 2 Rolling Thunders, one used in response to the other. Odom swings around, is able to concede.
It's a hot take. I'm going to need some evidence. We have some Jet on Jet fighting, but Monkus is victorious. 5 HP left. Broncos have to make a decision. They have to plant this A site.
One enemy.
Rariana finds 3. Wow. Turret. Maze just with his knife out, just walking back and forth, looking for something.
Bit of information is going to be picked up off the Aerodrome. Rariana is hanging back in this corner, swinging around with the right click.
Oh my God.